What's the worst way someone tried to flirt with you / turn you on? One time at a house party a girl whispered in my ear, "Have you ever licked a caterpillar?" Then tried to get me to come home with her. I never figured out what that innuendo was supposed to mean. I'm guessing her clit is like 2 inches long or something. Hairy and brown. Laughing crying RN. And it has googly eyes. So, I once had a guy ask me if I had ever tickled a snail. Needless to say, I didn't exactly find my way to a shell. So, I once had a guy ask me if I had ever tickled a snail. Needless to say, I didn't exactly find my way to a shell. Weirdest for me was probably the girl who flashed me when I was playing in a band in a dive bar. I wasn't too shocked by the flash tits. But when she pulled her pants down to show me her pussy, I figured she had to be absolutely hammered. After the set she approached me and spoke without a slur. Perfectly coherent, just like to show off I guess. Meredith knows how to handle her booze. I love how through all that roasting she got, she had a bloody PhD. Kissed me out of the blue. Not a bad thing in and of itself, I was into her, she was into me, and she knew how shy I was, so she made the first move. The issue was that shortly before she kissed me, she had eaten a Snickers bar. I'm allergic to peanuts. People thinking you're gonna reply but you actually died. The worst he can say is no. Him, die. Reminds me of the Family Guy episode where Meg is trying to find a date. I can't go, I have to go to my little brother's funeral. At my wife's funeral, one of her friends told me to let her know if I needed a blowjob. In front of the urn. Damn, she couldn't have waited till things calmed down? She must have been after you, hardcore, and definitely doesn't sound like the coolest friend she had. She was always telling my wife what a good catch I was. She always made my skin crawl.
Went out to dinner with a group of friends.
One girl said to the whole table, "I'm waiting for the man I love to realize that the love of his life is sitting directly in front of him." She was sitting directly in front of me. Yes, everyone at the table realized what she meant and got very uncomfortable with her. Myself included. Backstory, she directly asked me out a few weeks earlier, but I told her that I don't like her that way. Nevertheless, she persisted, and got rejected again. She probably practiced that line a bunch before, imagining that it would be the perfect thing to start off the story that she would be telling on your 50th wedding anniversary. I can feel the awkward all the way here. What happened after that? Borrowed my iPod and returned it. I put it in my desk drawer and forgot about. She got real cold and distant and I just let it go. About 6 weeks later I saw the iPod in the drawer, charged it up, turned it on and found she had left nude photos of herself. Damn, if you did like her back, that is a L. Otherwise, brew, she should have hinted at you to check it Lamau. Few other signs but nothing to really show she was that interested. Are you sure she wasn't just being polite? Politely adding nudes to my iPod? Never thought of that. A very middle-aged and, there is no better word for this, and I wish there were, swollen lady walked up to me at a bar and said, "I want you to rearrange my guts with your cock." Then she slowly walked to the men's bathroom. And I quickly walked out the front door. I haven't been back to a bar solo ever since. What's the name of the bar? That's horrible. Which bar? What's the address so I know not to go there? The Blue Oyster. r/Suddenly Policy Academy. I had a woman hit on me at an STD testing clinic. I definitely respect the game, but I was there to get tested because I had just gone exclusive with someone and wanted to get checked up before we stopped using condoms. Imagine the pickup line for meeting someone at an STD clinic: "Do you come here often?" At least we know she fucks. No, it usually happens earlier in the week? Bruh. My neighbor recently knocked on my door at around 10 p.m. to drunkenly tell me I was the pinnacle of masculinity because I leave for work at 7:30 every morning. Said she woke up to the sounds of me leaving and she is kind of in love with me. Then she asked if she could kiss me. I said no, and she went ahead and tried anyway. Then she got all upset when I pulled back from her. There were tears. Spent the whole conversation trying to figure out how to remove a person from my doorway without violence. Context: I only speak to this woman roughly once a year when she appears at my door drunk, though usually she just asks my name for half an hour. Or asks if I am gay. Wait, she's appeared at your door drunk more than once? Maybe it's her birthday and she's feeling lonely. Hosted a party in college with some friends. A girl that was trying to talk to me wanted to prove how strong she was and how good she was at boxing. Threw a mean haymaker right across my jaw. I randomly met up with her 2 years later at another random party. She introduced me to her friends as the cute guy I punched in the face. Edit, just to clarify, it wasn't a malicious act. She asked if she could show how strong she was by punching me and I said yes, not paying attention to what she was asking. Did you block her? Turns out he was really into wrestling and suplexed that bitch into next year. And now they're married with 3 dogs, a cat, and run a school for aspiring MMA fighters. When we were both young, there was this girl that tried to tug me off in a hot tub but was very grippy and violently tuggy, like getting an HJ from an angry Ronda Rousey. She offered to go orally, but I was afraid to introduce teeth after that kind of violence. Had a fuck buddy who said her favorite position was reverse cowgirl, and I never let her do it. That's the position with the highest risk of penile fracture, and she didn't seem like someone who took care of her toys. Good call. I tried that position once and almost got a penile fracture. Luckily I realized in time and told her to stop. How? How do you know you almost? Oh God. Someone I played baseball with when I was in high school grabbed my junk and then started whispering in my ear about how he wanted to be spit roasted by me and my dad. /ding ding ding / we have a winner for the worst. Oh no, the current top is much worse. Offering a BJ at your own wife's funeral defiantly tops this. D. Winner for worst. Gay guys out here being brazen as duck. As I yawned with my eyes closed, as one does, he placed his index finger inside my mouth. At a dinner party, with several other people at the table. Are you by chance a cat? Sadly no. Was he, by any chance, a baby? Was he by chance a cat? A painter on a crew I worked with said, I understand you ride horses. I replied I did, and he said, I've got a horse you can ride, but you have to ride bareback. Wink, wink. I told him I had no interest in Shetland ponies. Bro gave in to the intrusive thoughts. Lamau. Man down. Man down. Brought a dude home after dinner and he sat me on his lap and said, hey, you wanna sin a little? It was so cheesy, big naughty Santa vibes. I feel like the line isn't even that bad with better execution. We'll test on GF and see Lamau. It sounds hilarious, in a good way, but maybe only if you already know the other person. Update us. Lads now single frown. I was walking the halls in college and some girl yelled something towards me I could not quite make out. So I just ignored it and headed to where I was going. Turns out she was talking to me and thought it was appropriate to follow me into the bathroom. I am taking a dump and through the stall door she says, cute boy, are you in here? She asked me out on a date and out of sheer awkwardness and wanting to be left alone to poo I agreed to a coffee date. The date was just as intense, where she told me she had mirrors all over her bedroom including the ceiling. Was too crazy for me, so I made up an excuse to leave. But I always wonder what could have been. Sorry I started lawing at the I am taking a dump part. Just imagined you having a conversation with all the glorious dumping sounds. Or smells. Cute boy, are you in theory? Oh God, my nose. On 2 separate occasions, both times weddings actually, 2 separate women have drunkenly come up to me while dancing and then aggressively, and quite painfully, squeezed the shit out of my dick and told me they want me to fuck them. Aside from the fact that my dick literally can't function because of the pain, and I'm now negative horny because of the audacity of the situation, they were both very obviously in attendance with someone else. That's sexual assault. Thank you for calling it. I hate that SA goes so overlooked when it's done to men. That's SA.